Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this first video, we're going to break down what we need to do over the next several weeks in order to make a positive change in our life, to make that breakthrough that we need to have in order to see abundance flow into our life. So first things first, with the law of attraction and manifestation, or even if you want to put it in practical terms of your faith, of participating in God's blessing your life, we have clear instructions from the Bible. We have clear instructions from every author that's written on this topic, whether it's Neville Goddard or Rhonda Byrne or Earl Nightingale. No matter who you subscribe to in this space, we have clear instructions that desperation is not conducive with amazing blessings and opportunity in our life. In other words, when we feel desperate, we're least likely to see abundance flow into our life. And to provide a practical example of this, imagine walking around a job fair and begging all of your potential employers for a job. I think you would agree that if you approached each one of your potential employers with this desperate, lacking attitude, you would probably not walk away with the best job opportunity that you could have if you had had a better attitude. So if this is true, if desperation will not provide us the opportunities and the abundance that we want in our lives, then the first thing we have to do is shift our emotional state from one of lacking and wanting or desperation to one of abundance, where if that thing that we wanted that we feel like we're lacking, if that showed up in our life, we wouldn't feel any different than we do now because we're so emotionally satisfied and fulfilled. So I know everyone watching this video knows the difference between wanting and having, but I think this illustration that I'm going to provide will help us understand the actions we need to take and why these actions are so critical. So first, I'd like to break down the process of the emotional state of wanting. So first, imagine this box is the thing that we want. And I've intentionally drawn this box to be a large box on the board because it's important to us, right? When we're in an emotional state of wanting, this thing is a big deal. It's very important, right? Next, I've drawn a small stick figure to represent the idea that when we're in the emotional state of wanting, we feel as though we're lacking something. We're not enough in some way. So I've drawn him small intentionally. And the last character is a large stick figure to represent the idea that as the thing that this person wants is received, and he goes through the process of receiving the thing that he wants, his emotional state changes. He goes from feeling as though he's not enough in some way, not smart enough, not funny enough, not cool enough, whatever, to the emotional state of feeling enough, feeling validated, feeling like he's finally made it. The problem is in our wanting state where we feel desperate for the thing that we want, it will never come. And as long as we feel as though this thing has the power to emotionally validate us, we don't have the right emotional state to create this blessing or opportunity. In the having emotional state, we use a box to represent the thing that we want, but in this state, we're using a smaller box to represent the idea that things external are less important to us when we're in the emotional state of satisfaction and fulfillment. Next, we're using a stick figure, but the size of this stick figure is one that's average. It's reasonable to represent the idea that when we're in a fulfilled and satisfied emotional state, we're not lacking anything. We're not feeling as though we're not enough for some reason. So the last stick figure is the same size as the first. And this is meant to indicate that with or without receiving the thing, as the person goes through the process of receiving, they don't feel any different. They're good with or without when they're in the having or fulfilled or satisfied emotional state. So I think this illustration is only helpful if we can draw actions from it that result in our change from wanting to having. So what do we need to do to make this shift? The first thing we need to do is reduce the importance of the things that we want to us, such that they don't have the power to validate us. And the second thing we need to do is to increase the level of self-love, self-acceptance, self-approval, and ultimately the importance that we assign to ourselves so that we feel as though we're enough and not lacking anything. So I've used a minus sign and then the word thing to indicate that we're going to reduce the level of importance that we assign to our desires. In the same way, we're going to use the plus sign to indicate increasing the level of importance or acceptance or approval, and the word self. And these two actions are a perfect summary of what we're going to do over the next 21 days. We're going to spend the first segment focused on reducing the importance of external things to us so that we can begin to have the right emotional state and attract these things into our life. And secondly, we're going to work to increase our level of self-acceptance, self-approval, self-love to once again make that emotional shift from wanting to having so that we can attract anything that we want into our life. I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we focus on reducing the importance of the things that we want. Thank you.